Brad, and Alex.
Again.
Hello, guys. Nice to
GM,
meet you all.
everybody.
Nice. Well, I still see. Okay, now I'm starting to see some faces. Hi, Jess. Okay. I wasn't sure if it's my screen delay or. Let's see.
Are you going to share?
Looks like it's taking some while to spread the message sometimes. When you enter the call, it takes some time to just connect it.
Yeah. Let's see.
I like this Huddle app, by the way. I recommended it to Nouns the other day. He's looking for a new tool to run the meeting. You guys liking Huddle so far?
Yeah, it's been nice. Like, wait, I have a lot of noise. Who is? Oh, bless you.
Seems like
Oh, you started the noise. I guess I didn't change the input.
Oh, okay. Whoever is sneezing, just put on mute.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, no. Yeah, no. Oh, good. Let me try to get my screen sharing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Huddle is nice. It used to have like better quality, like image quality or video quality from what I experienced with Zoom. But sometimes I do have like slowness. I don't know how it works for you guys.
good for me. You look nice and clear.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. Hey, Chris. So we see people joining, and Victoria is here, and Inchara, hi, and Gaia, which said she's going to be on quiet mode, so you're welcome. And Orajo. Okay, we have some people that are new. I see I got Q, but he messaged me he can't join, so I'm not sure if he's. Okay, you won't join for video. That's fine. All good. Q, can you hear me? Is that the real Q?
Like Brad Q? Yeah, I can hear you.
There is no. So yeah. So Brad is here, and we have also Q without the bread. Breadless Q.
GM, everybody. Thank you all for joining.
Yeah. So I think we are like 5 beyond. We can start, and if someone joins, they'll catch up. We have this recorded, so if anyone that misses the call, okay, Q is confirming. So we have this recorded, so if anyone misses the call, they can catch up. And basically, I'm excited today to kind of kick off the second campaign of CoOwn Growth Studio with Nounspace. It's been a really fun and great collaboration with the team up until now. And basically, we are here because it was successful. We were able to kind of ideate together new use cases for Nounspace. And here came the Clanker ecosystem right on time. And we feel like it's like the perfect combination of what Nounspace is building and what Clanker ecosystem is enabling. So basically today, let me just show you the agenda for today so you can know what to expect. So we'll start with basically really showing us like the Nounspace token spaces, the product they've been working on like in the last month, but especially like a sprint in the last 2 weeks or so to kind of get to what we're going to show today. And then I'm going to walk everybody through the campaign details, because not only you get to learn about cool products, get to use them, people here can also be rewarded for creating positive value in the ecosystem. And the TLDR basically of what we are looking to do here is get new communities, new Clanker communities onboarded on Nounspace, setting up their token space and basically cast about it. That's the kind of the bottom line of what we're trying to achieve, but we'll get into the details. And the nice thing is that anyone here that is able to bring these communities on board can also be rewarded thanks to a token pool reward allocation that the space team is allocated after we went through governance proposal with the DAO. So more details about that coming after. And then we'll have like time for questions or feedback or ideas. It's pretty open. So I think before I hand it over to you, Will, if anyone has any question or clarification, let me pause for a second before we move on. Okay, sounds like we are ready to go. So, Will, I think the stage is yours. I will stop sharing. I guess you want to share your stuff.
Cool. Yeah, GM, everybody, thank you for joining. Excited to kick off this campaign with y'all and Cogs. I think it's a great way to do business development with the distributed community, all of like a lot of Farcaster native users. I think we're going to be able to much more scalably onboard some of these cool Clanker tokens onto Nounspace and give them their own customizable space and a place for their community to hang out and coordinate. Basically a space for these tokens to share whatever content and functionality they want to with their audience. Plus have all of the functionality that Nounspace already offers. So the ability for each of these members of the community to have their own customized profile and a website that doesn't just exist outside of social, or these token projects have to get people to leave social to come check out their website, but a customizable website with social natively integrated, and whatever other content and functionality they want to offer, whether that originates on social or beyond. So for anyone who's not familiar with Nounspace, definitely encourage you to check it out and get familiar so you can understand what we're offering these token communities. But basically the kind of the core features of Nounspace all come down to customizability and mini apps that we call fidgets. So the three Legos that we're working with are customizable themes, these fidgets, and then tabs, the ability to add additional pages to your space with more themes and fidgets. So themes, tabs, and fidgets are kind of the core components. And what we've been working on these past couple weeks is auto-generating pages for every Clanker token as soon as it's launched. So here's an example of what one of these auto-generated pages will look like. So every Clanker token that launches, you'll be able to visit their page just by putting the token address at the end of this URL. And every token space will automatically have a price chart, swaps powered by Matcha, the pinned cast from when the token was deployed on Farcaster, and then a live chat, which is pretty cool. So the ability to sign in here, chat with the community immediately, because again, a lot of these tokens that are launching don't have a website. They don't have any kind of social presence. They don't have any chat for the community to coordinate. And we're going to give them that out of the box as soon as they launch. Another cool thing about this chat is that the deployer will have the ability to set a token gate if they want to only let users with X amount of tokens participate in the chat. We'll also have a feed of all of the tokens mentions on Farcaster and some links for the token, like to Basescan, to Gecko Terminal. We're going to use Gecko Terminal instead of Dex Screener, and then to view the Clanker.world page. So where it really gets exciting is when the owner of the space comes in here and starts customizing it. And that's what y'all's goal is going to be, is to find some of these hot Clanker tokens that could use a space like this and basically show them that they can come in and claim the page and start customizing it for free. And then as soon as they customize their page and send a cast out on Farcaster, letting people know the page exists, you will have earned $300 of space tokens.
So it's essentially like a mini website with the editing functionality of like kind of Canva level. So very simple, easy to use, and very customizable, just kind of out of the box. Tagline from coin to community in one click.
I love that. And it's especially important these days because we're seeing not only the rate of these token launches increase, but the barrier to deploying a token thanks to Clanker has become so low that anybody can do it now. And so we want to make the barrier of having your own website lower as well. Plus, again, not just have these websites existing out in the ether, but natively on social. So here's an example of like some of the possibilities that you can do once you customize your space. Really, the sky's the limit. And if anyone has any suggestions about other fidgets that would be useful to add, or even other websites, like there's with this web embed fidget, there's a ton of websites that just work out of the box. So like just the other day, I realized that you could embed like live Twitch streams on your Nounspace profile. All sorts of stuff just works with this web embed fidget. So like Native, for example, could plug in their website, or even just directly their passport page. Anoncast could basically let people create these Anoncasts directly from their page instead of having to leave social. Oh, this is interesting. They must have just started blocking it since the last
But we've
time.
also done the legwork with a couple of sites to get us added to their like whitelists for being displayed in iframes. So a lot of this stuff these pages will be pages that you couldn't display just on your own like website if you tried to make an assembly of all these different pieces. Whereas Nounspace has done the work to basically become like an authorized like spot for all of these to come together and have one place to live. Basically a spot to drive community towards, and then give them access and visibility into all the different aspects of a coins community.
So the web embed is a powerful fidget. Also, every frame, you can embed frames directly with that feed fidget. Initially, it's going to be set to filter to the keyword for the symbol. So like this. But if the token community has a channel, they can plug that in as well, just by customizing that feed fidget. And then whatever else they want to add. So images, text. If they have governance, they can embed their governance space and let people see the proposals and actually participate in proposals directly from their page. Any links that they want to add, they can drop in here. An RSS feed, which so if the token project has a feed or a podcast, they can drop that in. Any videos, and this is the current set of fidgets that we have live, but we're definitely curious as you guys are onboarding these communities, if there are requests for other fidgets that they'd like to see. That's exactly what we want to hear.
And I think maybe, really just like a comment, I think like the nice thing about the combination between Nounspace and Clanker is that it really takes like a coin from being like a very rough, independent, like just a coin on Dexter, to something that is much closer to a community. You have all the tools that you need to kind of kick it off from start. You can decide that it has governance from day one and implement the snapshot within. So it's not like it creates the community, but it makes it visible much faster. So if there is substance behind the token, so everybody can see it immediately, and it's not like gotta start research what's going on, go into the Telegram chats and everything. So it's like in front of you.
Well said, Lior. And yeah, just like it shows some legitimacy for a token to claim their deck screener page. I agree. I think that showing that a project actually has intention to keep building and has a place for the community to come hang out and ask questions and get to know each other is actually really powerful for these new tokens, especially with so many tokens launching every day. So yeah, I demonstrated how to add and edit fidgets. You can also customize a theme, and you can even drop in HTML, CSS code for a custom background. You can plug in music for your space. So like one fun thing that these communities can do is use Suno AI to generate a custom AI song and drop that in here. And when you run out of space on your page, you can add additional tabs, which right now adding a tab requires Nogs, the NFT. And I can show what those look like. We're basically offering free Nogs to each of these communities that y'all onboard. Normally they cost 0.0111 ETH, which is less today than it was yesterday, like $33. And they look really cool. We're going to be offering those for free.
That's just an early supporter NFT. The Nogs stands for like Nounspace OG. So we launched those back when we first launched the site, and they basically are an unlock for any kind of newer features. So we're going to have like a rolling set of features that become available to everyone over time, but then the Nogs community will get it first.
And they're super stylish too, as you can see. Each Nogs is unique, and there's only 11,111 that will ever be in existence. So it's a hot commodity and a nice perk to offer these tokens at onboard. Here's an example too of what like a fully customized space could look like for the space token. This is the token that y'all will be earning when you onboard these projects. And you can see here that really we can like offer all the stuff that we want to share with these communities directly on our social profile. All right. Any questions so far on what these token spaces are or what the goal of this campaign is? Or any questions, period?
I have a quick question, which is this going to be marketed publicly from the, like, what's the brand that's going to be marketing this particular social campaign with incentives for onboarding coins?
I think it's between Nounspace and Cogs, kind of a joint
One question.
collaboration. We'll get to this question and then we'll come back to you for your question. But yeah, the idea, Alex, is for Cogs and Nounspace to be working together to basically get members of the Cogs community to then go onboard Clanker tokens. Does that answer?
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's very clear, like, who is behind this, who is behind the product, and who's behind the growth campaign. I think that one thing that, like, even the invite for this little chat, I was just slightly confused, like, who's hosting this? Is this a CoOwn, Covariance? Is this Willy Wonka? Is this, Nounspace? So making sure that that copy is really tight will help, and I'm happy to like revise or take a look at anything around that.
Yeah. No, so basically it's like, so the campaign is hosted by CoOwn, and Nounspace obviously is the project kind of defining the KPIs and the rewards. We kept it like we invited all the CoOwn members, but we also opened participation for anyone from the Clanker community. So tried in the different groups to invite people. So it is kind of open wider than just the CoOwn group.
That's totally fine. Like I love what everyone here is doing. I just mean in like on Twitter or on Workcast or when I send this out, what I would do is say like, hey guys, Nounspace #1 is launching a new product for Clanker creators. 2, CoOwn is running a partnerships or whatever campaign. There are incentives from X for onboarding teams, and just like having it be like really clear the different stages and like parts that each project are touching.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll make sure to send it like in a short paragraph so we can.
And Willie, I think we've got a video that we're putting together, like a short video that kind of is a launch video for this. So we could definitely break down the stages and the distinct like nature of the partnership in that video.
Yes, and our goal, as you guys are seeing, we're demoing a few different pieces. Part of this is in staging. What we're working on right now is the final pieces to auto-generate the default space for each of these tokens. And our goal is to launch this on Wednesday. So we'll keep everybody posted in the Nounspace Clanker Telegram chat and the CoOwn growth Telegram chat for that ecosystem when we're ready to go live. And then we'll share the announcement cast. And at that point, we'll be all clear to start onboarding communities. And we definitely appreciate everyone's help amplifying that post so we get as many eyeballs as possible. So here's what this page looks like right now. And soon, hopefully by the end of today, we'll have each of these token spaces. When you visit their URL, we'll have these fidgets with everything configured for that specific token.
So Willie, can you show like what's the specific action that someone needs to do to kind of be eligible for the campaign? So I'm talking to, let's say, native you took as an example. I'm talking to Derek. Hey, Derek, check out the Nounspace. You should set up your page. So what are the specific actions he needs to go and do?
So one thing we're working on today as well is making it really clear when someone visits an unclaimed token space that it can be claimed. So there's going to be a blue button in the top right just to make it really clear. And once the deployer of the token signs in with the Farcaster account that deployed the token, they'll see a customized button in the top right. So the goals for the campaign is to get the deployer to claim their space, which we're counting as just making one customization to it, which shows that they've logged in and know how to make changes to the page. And then to complete the onboarding, we're asking that the project cast about their new page with a link. And this could come from either the deployer of the token, or if the token does create their own Farcaster account, then from that account, either of those will count. So really, it's just getting these deployers of the token to check out their Nounspace page, sign in with Farcaster so they can customize it, and then cast about it so the world knows it exists. Ideally, these projects continue using Nounspace beyond that, but at that point, it's going to be basically on us to make them happy. So something that we would appreciate as well, not a requirement, but basically letting the token deployers know that we have a Discord where they can come get in touch with the team if they have any feedback or requests for what they'd like to see next. We have links to the Discord in this one pager, which I think you all have access to. This just has some information around what Nounspace is. We've got all these fun videos too. So if you haven't seen these videos from Nounspace, encourage you to check them out to really get to know Nounspace. These also might be helpful things to share with these Clanker communities. We have some clarity on exactly what these token spaces are going to offer at launch. And again, would appreciate any suggestions from anyone. If there's a website that you know that each of these Clanker tokens has that would be useful to embed as a default fidget, or just have on the list for other tokens to be aware of, please let us know if there's anything else that we should do here, because we're going to be constantly trying to just improve the default token space based on what we're hearing from these tokens is most useful.
I love it. I'm gonna make a post whenever you tell me go. Is it okay if I reference, like, you can have an embedded swap, embedded Twitter feed, embedded Farcaster feed, and embedded token gated chat? Those all exist today, correct?
Yes, those are all going to be live for these projects. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And what's the link I should be sharing?
Right now, nounspace.com is the best link. We haven't deployed these token spaces to prod yet. So
Okay.
if you want to link to it,
we will have probably like a post on Farcaster announcing the launch of these, and that'll probably have enough context for folks to understand like what's going on.
Cool.
I don't think it would be we could link to a specific token page if there's a partner that wants to like show off a page on launch.
Cool. I mean, there are plenty of people. I'm happy to make one for Clanker. I could have Jack Wild, who's here at Clankhack, make one for Must, and we could, kind of share that. Whatever you guys want.
That would be great. Yeah, if we could launch with a Clanker space, I think that would be a fantastic way for us to
I might choose a different coin that's up a little bit today versus one that the market is sold. But yeah, we'll get you one. When's launch?
Should be Wednesday. So we could time it so that we have this feature live for a little bit before we do the announcement.
That would be ideal. If you can just give me like 30 minutes before, just like share me or an hour so we can do some testing. Like, my biggest thing is I don't want to share it until we're certain that things are functioning as they are intended.
Totally. I think we could probably get this live by 10 a.m. on Wednesday at CST. And then probably do an announcement in the afternoon, something like 2 p.m. CST. That gives you like 4 hours to work with.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Us too.
We're really excited to see how this goes. And Wednesday, 10 a.m. That's the goal. We'll keep you guys posted as soon as it's live, and definitely appreciate the shout out from Clanker and y'all customizing.
Oh yeah, of course. Appreciate you guys building around Clankers and providing utility for our projects. It's awesome.
I mean, we all gotta build together. It's
that's the pitch.
Yeah,
let's win together.
Awesome.
All right, guys, I'm going to run. Thank you so much, Lior, for getting this crew together, and thanks to everyone who's building in here. Love to see it. Talk soon.
Yeah, see Alex. Thank you for joining. Chris, you had a question, I think before. Christian, did you have a question or?
Sure. Can you hear me? That's the thing.
Because yep, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. I was just curious because like after watching the other calls and everything, just because it might come up as a question from some of the clankers, how does the mobile version of the Nounspace go
up? So right now the mobile is still in development. We built this primarily for desktop use. But I would expect that to be on the roadmap after these token spaces launch.
Okay, but you're already working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Yeah, that was the only question. Just because like probably the way I see it, like a lot of these clankers will probably have their Nounspace linked on text screener and similar.
Yeah, I mean, Willie, do you want to show some of the sketch files for mobile?
Yeah, I was just pulling those up. We can show you a sneak peek of kind of what it will look like. But yeah, it's important to note that at launch, if a user visits Nounspace on mobile, they're going to basically see this page saying that it's not yet supported.
Are you able to? Do you guys hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Okay. I just want to sometimes I have mic issues, so I want to make sure it was working. With the not supported on mobile, even if it's possible to have some variation, if there is if that Clanker does have a page set up to like a lander, so if someone throws it in a deck screener, it can kick them over to the desktop, but people know they're landing on the something that's affiliated with the token correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that would be worth doing.
We're
it might be a good
at least have something useful when these projects visit. I mean, I think it'd be great if we could just have like the chart and the swaps and the chat and the links to the different pages.
I think it would be totally possible for us to have all of the default fidgets and then just not have editing on mobile.
Exactly.
Yeah. And have it just structured for the mobile experience, where it's going to be like the instant stuff that you want their eyes to know, to have that trust, to build the legitimacy off the get-go.
Right.
I got another question.
Go shoot.
I was gonna ask, like, probably not gonna be like a problem or anything, although some projects might ask, especially if they're more, I would say, utility based. Is it possible to like either connect the Nounspace page or somehow mask the URL so it shows like the project URL? Or it's gonna go to like nounspace.com// and a bunch of numbers. Or like at least shorten the URL.
A couple of times. So at launch, we're not going to have that kind of functionality. But if that's something that a lot of projects are asking for, then we would put it on the roadmap. Okay, and that's something we could definitely do.
Yeah, I was wondering about the revenue generation. Like, is it through just the NOGS tokens and that floor price you're looking at, or what's the long-term viability and sustainability of the platform and the project if people are going to be looking to maybe depend on it or not depend on it as being a primary landing place and focal place?
Willie, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So right now, we were initially funded by NounsDAO with a grant. We received some grant funding from Polygon as well. And like you said, we have the NOGS NFT as well as the space token. So right now, our main goal is to get users using Nounspace. And as long as we have users, there's lots of opportunity for us to monetize, as well as to get additional grant funding from our backers. So yeah, main goal is we want to build something that's useful and has usage. And just by doing that, we're pretty confident that that's going to benefit the space token, which right now is a great revenue stream because we have lots of space tokens in the treasury that we can work with. So the white label is kind of the next feature that we've heard a lot of interest for. So basically, projects like Clanker, having like a white labeled version of Nounspace with their branding and their custom domain, and also whatever space, whatever themes, tabs, and fidgets they want as the home page is likely going to be one of the next things we prioritize after this mobile version. And like one strategy we're looking at for how to monetize that is requiring that project hold a certain amount of space tokens that they lock up in order to get access to the white labeled version. So the version of Nounspace with their own domain, their own branding, and their own homepage. But yeah,
Nounspace is operated as like we have a DAO that basically passes proposals for how we should be using the treasury, and then features that we should be building on Nounspace. So that token allows it to be completely community owned. And by centering our like profit strategies around the token, we provide value to all of the people that are like part of the project, instead of just like the core team that's currently building it. Yeah,
that's good.
No, a couple of other ideas that we've had, like having right now, Nogs will get you access to all of the features that we have, but since Nounspace operates basically as like a mini website hoster, we can take some of the strategies from website hosting and apply those. So if you wanted to have more tabs, so if this is something where you're guiding a lot of people to this page and you want to have different categories of content on it, then we could charge people like by the tab on a yearly basis, something like $3 per tab or something like that. But the white label,
it makes sense to have just sort of a bump up package that has a bunch of different service add-ons that people can pick up.
Exactly.
That's I think the easiest little add-on is just to have a bundle that you can add more features into as you're developing them, but it's the next step up paid service.
Right, and the bundle right now is basically just the nugs, right? That is giving you the access to what that feature bundle will be.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Cool. We're building something with DiviFly that I think could be a really good fit into. I can see it popping into a fidget and doing a huge utility ad and marketing assist. So we can talk about that later more too. But I really love the flow you've put together here, and I can see a huge opportunity to assist creators' projects and other people with getting the tech headache out of the way.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're trying to solve for. But then also, giving the extensibility, right? So it's like the initial tech headaches out of the way, but then if you want to build it into something more, since we've got support for frames, folks can build stuff that's custom that's just going to fit right in.
Yeah, excited to hear about your pitch and see if we can get it embedded. And
so I just want to be mindful of time. So just want to see that we can cover for the rest of the folks here, like how the campaign works, and then we have time for Q&A to kind of get back to the product if anyone have any further question. But that's great. Yeah, I'm happy to see like every call we're having that new interest, new ideas coming on. So you guys have enough work to develop. Okay, so can you see? Okay, it should show now.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So what I want to go through now is basically like how to participate in the campaign. So you've seen what Nounspace is about, and you understand by now what's kind of how we want to help. All of the links will be in the page that I'll show soon, but basically there is a link in the Luma page, and I will link it here too. basically the CoOwn. If you're like a member of the CoOwn, which not everybody here are, so you probably see this page when you log into the app, and then you can go and look at different campaigns. So the first campaign was the Nounspace one. We are just wrapping up Ponder number 3, and you go into the Nounspace campaign. You can open it. Actually, let me open it on a separate on its own page. Yeah, so it's easier. And the idea with the campaigns here are that we have a short page that explains everything you need to know about the project, and right below you have details that I will go over just to make sure that everybody knows about them. So this is kind of the campaign details, and here we basically put the one kind of liner of what we are trying to achieve, in this case onboarding Clanker communities to launch the Nounspace token space. And basically the way to do it is that we submit a live page of that community and a link to a cast. And that's basically like a proof of a new community claiming their page. Let me maybe just enlarge it because I know it's a bit small. The KPI was set at 50 new communities, and a total budget of $25,000 worth of the space token was allocated towards this goal. And the idea with the campaigns we run in this format in the CoOwn Growth Studio is basically that we have a pool, and that pool is eventually mostly going towards success-based KPIs, and it's distributed between the people that are creating the value. So we are trying to build a model in which people can find themselves contributing from every step of the cycle. So you can see here that the model basically includes solve a reward. This is basically if I bring a new community, I'm getting like 60% of the reward pool. 20% goes to the originator of the opportunity, and 20% goes to the CoOwn Growth Studio Treasury. And the idea is that whether I brought the communities or I was able to identify an opportunity, in this case, Nounspace has a need for this and that, going to Nounspace, running the ideation, proposal, figuring out all the logistics and setting up the campaign structure. That's basically, I could be rewarded if we were able to create positive value for the Nounspace. And the reason we are doing it this way, that the model that we aim for is that in the future, if anyone here knows of another community that might benefit from this type of campaign, where we pull together people with relevant skills and knowledge and network and expertise, so anyone can come up and say, hey, I want to onboard this community. I want to be rewarded for this and that if I've been successful at doing so. And this way we are creating a positive sum game for everyone involved. Now, below this page, and I'll of course share the link in the chat, I put all the resources that we gathered about Nounspace, about the product. We have the one pager here that Willie shared. We have actually, we have two one pages, so I'll make sure to keep the one that is relevant. We have the original proposal, if anyone is interested to read. And then we have here this link for the Clanker ecosystem, where you can go and basically review all the top Clanker communities by market cap, by volume. But you can also take that Dune query and update it and do whatever data slicing you want to do. And just as another enabler, if you are not familiar with the entire ecosystem, so find a community that you feel like you know someone at, or you want to onboard, and basically find their details and go after them and let them know about this opportunity. And then I added our group chat for the CoOwn Growth Studio and the Nounspace for the Nounspace campaign, basically for a live chat if anyone has a question or want to join and kind of get more details. And then, okay, so I got myself educated on the opportunity and I know what I need to do. So basically, once I found I found a relevant community, all I need to do is basically come here, fill the details, my name, the campaign. So it's basically going to be Nounspace number 2. Sorry that my computer is a bit slow. I can either do a mass upload using the spreadsheet here. I will show that. Let's say if I'm going after 10 different communities, so I can do that. Or I'm basically listing the name of the community, the link, any more details that I need, and then I submit it. I did like an example. My submission will be here. And this is basically how we track who contributed what, and also the order of how inbound opportunities came in. So let's say now Chris will submit native. So we'll know that if native was onboarded, so Leo was the first one to tag the name and was after the opportunity. And we're gonna see how it goes, because this is basically, we have like a very big list of I think there are over 20,000 Clankers out there. Probably most of them are not that active, but I don't know if Q is still on the call and can give us some kind of analytics or insights. But yeah,
33,000.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, like out of them, if we know how many are like more or less active, or how many of them have any community that kind of gathered around them.
Yeah, to mitigate the risk of people gaming this and like launching a Clanker just to say that they onboarded them and get the space tokens, we're requiring that the Clanker token have a market cap of $75,000 at least. So yeah, not sure exactly what that number of Clanker tokens is, but it should be at least 50, and those are the ones that we want to focus on onboarding.
Exactly. Yeah, and we put this condition here, so that's a good kind of way to mitigate just like people launching Clankers and onboarding them and kind of gaming the system. So yeah, that's basically it. So here we can see the tracking, and we are aiming for kind of giving like a 2 weeks window to kind of complete that, but we'll be kind of we'll be here, like we are on Farcaster, on the group chat, and hopefully if people have questions, suggestions, or whatever, we'll kind of be dynamic. Eventually, the goal is to see people discover the Nounspace, trying out the product, and I think if we're able to kind of achieve at least part of the KPIs, that will be a great kind of milestone for the Nounspace project, because now we'll have more communities engaged, and the team can build stuff really based on what these communities need. So yeah, this is kind of the brief on how the campaigns work. I'll stop for a second. If anyone has any question about the workflow, the rewards, how does that work? This is the time.
I have a question back about Nounspace, but not the flow.
Okay, so let's give it another minute just to see if anyone else has a question. And if not, definitely let's go back to the product. Okay, how is it? Orajo? Orajo?
Yeah, go with Orajo. My name's Jordan Oram, and that was my old, like, if you know how to make your Star Wars name, that was like the old gaming name I used years ago. So I just went with it. So basically, I had a question about the functionality for the project or creator who claims use of the Nounspace, who can edit it. Are they able to assign editing power to other wallets, like other people in their community who actually might be doing more of that building or more of the marketing side or any of that kind of stuff?
So at the moment, only the person that launched the token can claim it. But if there's demand for expanding permissions access, that's something we could definitely add.
Because I think that's probably a very likely use and need is that there's people who launch it, but they don't have the skills, knowledge, or desire necessarily even to take things further. And so to be able to assign stuff, or if there's like a community takeover or things like that.
We have considered a community takeover for the situation where like a token gets launched. It's in some cases like maybe through Anoncast or through a platform where you can't have the original wallet come and claim it. So I think there's the opportunity for us to do like claims based on like the number of tokens that someone's holding. If they're holding enough of the supply, then they could come along and claim it.
Because I'm thinking like even like right now, I know a project that I've got that I'm working on that I think can display a lot of this, but I'm not the person who launched it. The person who launched it, I know, they would be keen on it and would be open to like permissioning for me to be able to arrange stuff, edit things, move things around. But I wouldn't necessarily need to claim it, want to claim it. Like they could claim it if they could assign my wallet ability to poke around.
I think that'd be pretty straightforward as far as features for us to add.
Yeah. Okay, that was my question. Thank you for your time.
It's a good question, and we definitely want to hear if there's cases like that y'all come across where there's somebody in the community who's active that wants to customize a space and the deployer is happy to assign it. We could totally we could manually do that for now if we get like a signed message from the deployer saying I want to assign it to this address. And then if we have enough of those requests, then that gives us motivation to prioritize the community takeover feature and making it permissionless so that there's the one risk there is like the potential security implications of like a malicious person coming to claim the space and then putting like a rug token in there.
It's a similar risk with handing over socials or having other people on a team, right? That you give power to select people to do that stuff or have a team run it or have a agency build stuff out. But it's a vulnerability, but the opportunity. So,
right.
Yeah, 100%.
We recognize that these token spaces aren't going to be like super robust in terms of feature set. And there's going to be a lot of things that we need to build for them, but we're kind of going along with the ethos of like, just ship it, get something out there and then see how the response is and then build as fast as we can to, respond to what the demand is.
Right. And even with what we're starting with, there's really nothing like this out there for a token project to be able to have their own website with social natively integrated. So starting from a good place with so many possibilities, especially with like the frame fidget and the web embed fidget. And kind of the big opportunity that we see here with Nounspace and with these token spaces is around mini apps. Like someone mentioned earlier that they're working on something that would be a great fidget to plug in. And we're seeing a lot of these apps pop up that really would make great fidgets and where the deployer of the app is happy to have it embedded in a fidget if it means that they're getting more users. And we see the barrier to deploying these mini apps just going down basically towards zero. Like the chat fidget that we demoed was one that AI built entirely and it works super well. And AI is just getting better and better. So we see
something we'd love to build into the platform too at some point is just like a little like AI assistant to create mini apps for you as a project for down the road. But I think like that's something that's going to be a part of social. I mean, I think the folks running Warpcast see the same thing, is that these mini apps are just going to become part of like the creative toolkit for everyone.
Exactly. And whether you're a new token or an established token, we're already seeing like all of these different things that a community offers are very fragmented. Like they'll have a website and maybe an application or a forum and a chat and governance and a place to like swap the token. And all of these things are separate right now. So really what we're offering is the ability for the deployers to bring that all together into one place, which is social, which is where users are spending most of their time.
Any other questions from folks? All right. Lior, I think we might be good to wrap.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Anyone that has any question, you can go. I will put right before we leave like the link to the group chat, just in case, so you don't lose it. And probably, yeah, will do that. Give me a second. Okay.
If any folks want to reach out to us, the Discord is open, and then also you can find Willie at willywonka.eth on Farcaster, and me at realitycrafter on Farcaster.
I'm joining that Warpcast
Perfect.
right now too.
Nice. Okay, and Daniel, I see you managed to see the page now after you sign up. Okay. Okay, so I think we can wrap it up. Thank you very much, Jess, Willie, and everybody that participated. So excited to see what this yields, and let's. How the clunkers are saying, let's fucking clunk. So I don't know if we have the same for the Nounspace. So
Let's build a
LFS. Let's
I thought
build.
it was let's fucking code, so I'm glad you clarified that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We really appreciate the support and interest in our project.
Thanks, Cogs. Thank you
Amazing.
all.
Thank you. Bye bye.